speaking about our Dao experience, whatever you experienced since you came to the temple, we're speaking about it. It there's no shame in anything. There's no time limit, but we don't want it to take up too much time. And if you come up once, it could come up a second and third time because maybe we don't remember everything at the same time. Alright, so who would like to start?
I can start.
Okay.
I have a whole lot of stuff.
Good.
Talk. Take the whole class.
I don't know which one you guys want to hear.
Everything. From beginning to end.
Give us the appetizer first.
Personal life, the kids, the house, work. I don't know. There's so many of them.
Everything.
Everything started with like what?
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, what's most, I don't know.
Appropriate to.
What is most aha moment?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
everything's aha moment. Okay,
Everything.
let's see. I received Dao about 5 years now. Maybe 5 years.
Only 5 years?
Close.
Oh. That's it? Oh.
Yeah, everything happens very fast. So, I think it was Jill was buying looking for Chinese food, take out vegetarian Chinese food. So she walked by the old restaurant downstairs, like once. She was like, Mrs. Ling was not there the first time. So she just ordered something. And like 2 weeks later, she has to go back to the doctor, and then she has to, okay, I'll go and buy another food. But this time, Mrs. Ling was there. This
Was
is like
she a vegetarian? At
yes,
that time?
yeah. Well, she was pescatarian.
Oh, okay.
Like she still eats fish.
Right.
So quickly going through, it was like, okay, she met hi. This was like 3 weeks before the Dharma class. This is just rushing into it. On that same weekend, at the Jill received Dao, we came to the temple and say hi to her and everything. And Kyle, Kylie, me, we all received Dao on the same week that Jill did. So this is a week before the Dharma class.
It was just a week before.
Yeah, it was in May. So it was in May. So it was like, she was like, should I go for the Dharma class? You know, I told her, you know, kids has swimming, kids has the music lessons. I can take them. You know, you can go find out what it is. It seems very interesting, you know, because you know, we felt good after receiving the Dharma. So she was the sort of guinea pig. We sent her to the Dharma class, the 2-day Dharma class. She felt so good after Dharma class. I mean, it was amazing for her. You know, we were like, how come you going to? We didn't go. You know. So the next Dharma class in November, we all went. You know, we attended. It was very good experience for 2 days. It was a little tiring because you know with the kids running everywhere, but that was just the beginning. Because our kids' schedule was on Saturdays and Sundays and all weird stuff. I mean, if you guys remember, after the temple, we had to rush it out and go somewhere after that.
Still.
But yes, but suddenly things start to shift a little. The Sunday schedule that we have, the kids, got moved to the Saturday. So our Sunday became free. You know, so after that we start coming to Sundays every Sunday. We're like, okay, we're just going there. You know, it just comes up. My kids are not here because they have Chinese school. We could not find a Saturday Chinese school. But they're learning Chinese. They have to learn Chinese. Because everything that's in the is in Chinese. But they are doing it. They can read it. They're learning and they're reading the Chinese sutras. It's like very impressive. I cannot do it yet. So this is the kids. But moving forward, 2 years later, then we took staff vows. After taking staff vows, we took the vegetarian vow. We took vegetarian vow with the temple vow at the same time. With the concept or the idea that we're going to get our home team set up in 2 years after we took the vows. Within the 3 years, it's a domino. You know, basically things start fitting. You know, Jill went to Taiwan. We met with some people from Taiwan to set us up with the things we needed. Also, okay, fine, we just do it. So every time we went there, we got stuff that we needed for the home temple. We got the the lamps, we got the everything. So everything just comes down together very fast, very quickly. So 2 years into it, or almost 3 years, we're like, oh, we're almost ready, but we need a table. We cannot find a table. This is like, was it 3 weeks or 4 weeks? Maybe 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know exactly. It was just a couple weeks before the Dharma class in New York. So we decided to go, okay, after the temple, we just go walk down the street. There's a furniture store down there, and then maybe they will have some kind of table. We can look at it, and we can put it in. We went there, and there's that table that has a little curtain on the side. It was like, we could use it, man, because it's a table. It's an altar table. We cannot be picky. And they just got the shipping for that week. We were just lucky because we were there. They said, oh, we just got the shipping this week. This is all brand new. Everything's there. It's just coincident. We don't usually walk down there for that furniture store. We got the furniture store. We got the table. Same week, Joe ordered a square table. Online. It's like, okay, it matches. The color is always like almost 90% matches, and it's right, not 100% right size, but all you need is put a little wood thingy on the bottom and just shift it. Everything, it works perfectly. So this is like 3 weeks before the Dharma class, and Jill and I was like, can we get this done before the Dharma class? And we talked to transmitted along and said, yes, we could, and we can have the 3 talents to come over and do the blessing. I said, no, they're coming on Thursday. Thursday, that means Dharma class is going to be Saturday and Sunday. Then we had to do it on Friday. So we had our home temple initiation on a Friday. So just imagine. On Friday we had the house being blessed, and on Saturday we had the Dharma class. It was like very intense. On Monday we also had a class that week too. It was like very impressive. But anyway, we got the home temple set up now. We'll be doing the offering ceremony. We learned, thanks to Jean for telling us every time when the the dates are, because we had to get the fruits. We had to get the fruits and clean the temple. We're getting good. We're getting all the dates into it. So now I don't have to rush the fruits. So fruits is our easy part now. We're learning the procedures well too. So the home temple is all done and set aside. Back in my mind was like, I need to fix the house. The house is, it's a very old house. The kitchen's, it's getting bad. The floor is, it's a little shaky. And I was like, financially, I cannot have the house fixed up everywhere. It's going to be really expensive. I don't know if this is karma or a way of that it works. But our house had some water damage when we went on vacation and came back. I did not know this was going to happen. So the insurance comes over and say, okay, yeah, we need to fix this house. So we got the insurance involved in to fix the house. I thought maybe it's going to take $20,000, $30,000 to fix the house. Tear down some of the white part and put everything together. The insurance says, no, we need to tear down the whole wall, the whole floor, the ceiling, because when water gets in, it can have some kind of damage into it. Next thing you know, the whole house is being, not whole house. The first floor and second floor, the bathroom, the kitchen, the basement, everything's being torn down.
Ken. Everyone, this is Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Phoebe's friend.
Okay. And where's
Okay, so
Phoebe?
I invited him to join us. Okay, have a seat. Okay, so this is a discussion.
Yeah, we did Dao Experience, so I'm this first one. So we got the insurance involved. Next thing you know, we're getting $115,000 to fix the house. So now we have a new basement, a new kitchen, 2 new bathrooms. The holy room is just completely done. And then we include a little fan on the wall to sucking the
Yes, that's
smoke.
So before we had to open all the windows the thing. But now we just turn on the fan. The thing. In back of my mind back then, it was like I was thinking and fixing the house little by little, not everything in one shot. But I guess this is the one way to get the everything you wanted in unusually process. But I'm not saying it was an easy process. There are some challenges to get the house to work the way we wanted. Jill's having a hard time with the contractors. To me, I would just want to move on. You know, I got this blessing, I guess, getting the new basement and new floor and everything done. And so their house now is, we're back in the house, we're living in the house, and everything's progressing slowly. Now moving back a little more now. So when I got the house 12 years ago, about 12 years ago, back in my mind, I was hoping there was a Chinese market near the house.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, well, don't even, so every Saturday and Sunday we'll come here to Flushing and then buy the food, buy bulks in the food and then drive back every Saturday. So about 2 years after we have the home temple, a Chinese market opened up right in the neighborhood. It's like 5 minutes drive. I mean, this is like the middle of the Mineola. There's not a lot of Asian people, but they opened up a Chinese market. And of course, now Asian people just coming from different towns to buy it. But I got vegetables I needed. They have a vegetarian section in the freezer. I'm like, I don't have to come here 162nd Street anymore. I can just go to the aisle there, just open up. I got the vegetarian meats there. Everything's like, it's working out pretty good now. You know. And going back to my house again, this is sharing my house. I used to drive to work about 30 minutes in Great Neck to go to work from Mineola, 20, 30 minutes. After we received the Dao, and this is after receiving the Dao. A year after receiving the Dao, my company decided to move the company to Garden City, which is about 10 minutes away from my house. 10 minutes. I'm like, everything's become like so more convenient to me. I got her work close to my house. I got the Chinese market there. I said, what else I need? You know, everything's just coming out together. And this is because I received the Dao about 5 years ago. I believe because I received Dao 5 years ago. And things are just progressing pretty well, smoothly. You don't have to ask. Some people just go, I don't ask a lot. I just think of maybe cross my mind. Has
Just think about it.
and you just have to cultivate. Well, I mean, we come to the temple every Sunday as much we can. I do good as much I can do. I still yell at my son, but that's, I guess it's the process growing up. You know, boys are not easy to deal with, but he's getting better. And getting as many people I can receive, my mom, my parents, actually my whole parents, Jill's parents. So we're trying to get as many people we can to receive that as much as we can. So it's very interesting. Things just gets better. There are some challenges in between, but you just have to go through it. And I believe that eventually it's all one test, one big test that you have to go. Be sincere that you are cultivating that.
Well, I think also, I mean, not just receiving that, but because you are sincere, your family, you're sincere, that's why.
I'm trying to learn the Chinese part. Joe's keep making fun of me on the Chinese part. I said I cannot pronounce those words, but I'm trying. And the kids are learning. I mean, it's pretty well.
It's easier
Easier
for
for the
children.
kids.
Yes, they are learning. I was like, I'm very impressed. They can memorize all the sutras. And they can read it now, too. Before, they can just memorize the pinyin. Now they can know the character. Very interesting.
All right, very good. Thank you. All right, who'd like to go next?
No, he said he wants before he started.
Oh,
Hong Sons.
Yeah, Nicholas?
Yeah, Nicholas. Yes.
Well, you were going to college soon, right?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. How's that going?
That's going good.
Yeah. Anything change after you received? I know you were in that little angels class before,
Yeah.
and then you moved to the little older group. Not much older, but.
Alright, so, alright.
I don't really have anything to say.
So what do you like here, the classes here, than the little angels?
It's more like serious, I guess.
But you're learning, right?
Yeah.
It's less chaotic.
Yeah.
Does it make any difference to your life?
I guess.
Okay, how about, does it make any difference in your relationship with your parents?
Yeah, I guess. I'm more like respectful to them now. Yeah.
Fine. Okay, thank you. Alright. Alright, Gary.
Why you pick on me all the time?
You always pick on me.
Now you're even, you got each other.
Go ahead.
I don't have much to say.
You have a lot
You
to
have to
say.
say.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you've been here like what?
I just come here. That's it.
No, you have to mention
But
like
why
the 2
do you
hours
come
drive.
here? Nobody's forcing you. Why?
Invisible force.
And there must be something good here for you to come so far.
Well, I want
Tell Ken how far you travel.
I travel from PA.
PA? I have a cabin in PA.
Oh,
And I'm moving to Vietnam tomorrow, actually.
you're moving to
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Why?
My fiance's from it. You know, the life is a long story.
Your fiance is from Vietnam?
Yeah, she moved to New York 2006. She's battled cancer for the last like 3 years, so she wants to be back. She's just doing holistic treatment, and I'm gonna go back, and I'll be coming back to New York a little bit. I do freelance work with event production.
Have you been there before?
I was there most of January. And,
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
heard it's beautiful there.
Yeah, it's in Saigon, so that's where I'll be. So yeah, I didn't want to take the spotlight off you.
Oh.
But yeah.
Well, this discussion is actually talking about
It's
our
open.
Dao experience.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in the church, like Christian church. I got involved with martial arts years ago. My interpretation of the Tao is I don't know if you can ever be out of it. So I know there's certain types of doctrines, probably. I feel like we're all in the Tao, whether we want to cooperate with it or not. It's just sometimes you might resist it more than others, and it creates more pain. But as far as like receiving Tao, I feel like everyone is already in it already. So that's my overall take with the Tao, and I don't know how that differs from the doctrines of the temple.
No, you're right.
But I'm very I'm about learning, about trying to connect with people, and I did have a kind of a harsh experience with organized religion growing up. And that's just being honest with it. So it's I'm a little apprehensive getting involved with organized groups. But that's my experience, and so now you know where I'm at.
So I'm Catholic, you know.
Yeah.
I've been to church every Sunday before. So coming to Sunday to here was just another step. But you learn a lot more over here. On the Catholic church, it's just with repetition every Sunday.
Mm.
You know, and you read this Bible, but over here you get a whole lot more. You will know a lot more where it's coming from.
I think there's a place for everything and everyone, and I'm just about letting things be what they are, and trying to learn what I can from everyone else's experience, and just trying to be open with what mine is without Not just trying to be too agreeable, I should say. Because I know there's kind of like a pressure coming in as an outsider, and that's just how it is. But thank you for welcoming me into the group. And I've known Phoebe for a few years, and I think she tries really hard to follow path the Tao, and I respect what she's doing. And that's why I'm here, basically.
So Phoebe sees something in you that I should believe that you should be seeked out. That's why I'm here. So
Yeah, I was here a few years ago.
Alright, so when you
Yeah.
when you move to Vietnam, try to get a big temple.
there's a big Tao community in Vietnam, so you won't be losing.
Everybody
But-
building it.
It exists in Vietnam, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, what you said is generally correct. I mean, the Tao, yes, the Tao is everywhere. We are part of the Tao. The Tao is within us, right? At that level. But also we need to discover discover the Tao within ourselves, okay? And that is understanding our true nature, our Buddha nature. I mean, we are, what the Tao says, we are all, or what Buddha is saying, we all have that Buddha nature. We have that seed of Buddhahood within us. And we can all become like Buddha, or become enlightened in other words, right? So that's that essence that's within all of us. That's what we call this Tao. So the Tao is everywhere, okay? But yeah, when we talk about receiving the Tao, then there's a step, you can say like a little ceremony. Well, we have a little ceremony procedure that we go through to point out it's a direct pointing out of that true nature within us. Okay, so I think most people, we understand that human nature, right? We have emotions, we have all these things, but that's not the true nature. Okay, so we need to have that pointed out to us, and you can say this is like working through the hand of God or whatever, the invisible force that I don't know, it kind of makes that connection to us. Okay, and that's something that's and we can learn. We come to class or we come to temple and we learn things. But that's just knowledge. That's just you can learn anywhere, and that's really no different. But then this receiving the Tao then is something special. Okay, you kind of have to go through that experience. It's like an experience, and it's very brief, but it's an experience that you have to go through to kind of make that connection to your Buddha nature. Okay, so and then once that happens, though, then that hopefully, and if we're sincere, okay, and we want to keep seeking that Tao, seeking that truth, seeking that Buddha within us, then that can help us to basically increase our wisdom. Okay, so but obviously as part of that, we have to, in any kind of practice, there's what we call like precepts or disciplines that we learn and things that we need to, these principles that we follow. So Buddha says, I don't know, you're familiar a bit with Buddhism then, a little bit. Basically, like the Four Noble Truths, right? The meaning of life, why is life is suffering? First of all, that's what he's saying. And it's that we create that suffering through our own desires and attachments. Okay, so if we want to get out of that, then we need to kind of get rid of those things, right? So that's all part of our human nature. Once we get rid of all that, then that Buddha nature is already there, and it can manifest through wisdom, for example, through our wisdom. That wisdom, we all have that wisdom already. Okay, it's not something that we can learn. I mean, our experiences help us, but that innate wisdom, it's a marvelous wisdom, and it includes, I mean, at the biggest, highest level, it's like the Buddha, where you have ultimate awareness, the awareness of everything, past, present, future, throughout space. So that's at the ultimate level. But for us in everyday life, that wisdom, that awareness also, it comes from our Buddha nature and allows us to be aware. It's like what we typically say, a sixth sense, right? But it's beyond the sixth sense. It allows us to be aware of things and to naturally guide us in life. Like if we're in a situation or something, that if we have that wisdom, that awareness, it will naturally guide us to automatically know what we need to do. Okay, so we don't have to recall some knowledge that we learned, because knowledge is limited, right? I mean, we can only learn so much, and it doesn't necessarily cover all situations. But this wisdom, this awareness can help us in all situations. Right. So that's one of the, I don't know if you want to call it benefit, but when we receive this Tao, that it will help guide us. Okay. But that guidance really, it's coming from within. It's as humans, we tend to seek all sorts of stuff. Science is all looking for stuff out there, but really the answers, the truth, the ultimate truth is all within us. It's already there. It's just that we don't tap into it. We don't know how to tap into it. But if we receive the Tao, then we will know. So that's kind of a I don't know, giving a little pitch.
Sure. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing you said made me think of. It's already inside of us, correct?
Right.
Are we not kind of just in continuous motion of the universe, and whether we think we're making these choices or not, we're still just going according to whatever the ultimate Tao is already doing? Meaning, like, man can't even get in the way.
Well,
It thinks it can, but it can't out-clever the universe.
right. I mean, you can't out clever it, but people will still do stupid things, or things against the Tao, against nature, right? And that is, we have to kind of correct ourselves. We have to realize that first, that we're doing that. Otherwise, it's the continuous cycle of suffering, what Buddha talks about. So Buddha is trying to say, yeah, we have to realize that, and so we have to follow the principles that they're teaching, so that we can avoid that path, that fate, if you will. Okay, right? And that is partly because we're all ignorant basically at some level, and so we have to get rid of that ignorance. And once we get rid of that ignorance, partly is through knowledge, of course, through the learning, but also through our wisdom. Okay, and then we can correct our path to take that more enlightened path, and eventually to get out of that cycle of suffering.
Thank you.
Yeah. We all have this, when you say, yeah, we all part of the one. Yeah, we are. We all have this, what we call Buddha nature, and that's what Buddha talked about specifically mentioned in the Nirvana Sutra. That's Parinirvana Sutra. But anyway, an indication, a hint, an indication, or you can say a manifestation of that Buddha nature is, you can say, our conscience. You can say our conscience. So one way to understand or view, to say, okay, what is that Buddha nature, and how do we follow that? Being according is to have our conscience guide us. That's one simple, very, you can say, narrow, practical example. But we all are the same, in our essence, i.e., we all have that Buddha nature. Okay, now religions and stuff like that would tend to generalize it and say that, oh, we have that soul, Holy Spirit, whatever, that God-given spirit. Okay, all right. So religion would talk about that, and that's always eternal, right? That after we pass away, our physical bodies, we all have heaven in, right, sometime, and then that quote unquote soul, or will go someplace else, right? Either heaven or hell or underworld, whatever. So that's a very oversimplification, if you will. Buddha talked about karma. So why is it that we have to learn? We say we learn. You know what we have to understand, accept the Tao, or you can say enter the Tao, and learn about our Buddha nature, is so that the more we understand our Buddha nature, we will act according to it. So you can say one example is follow our conscience. That's true. Okay, but the whole point of doing that is that we would therefore, if we could do that, minimize or reduce or even not create what we call karma, what Buddha called karma. You know, karma is you can say it's a result. It's a result with in the human realm of what we call the law of causality, the universal law of causality, right? I mean, physics has proven that there is such thing as law of causality, even quantum mechanics. Okay, but the whole idea is that if we could, we say, enter the Tao, discover our Buddha nature, learn about that Buddha nature, and try to be in accordance with that Buddha nature, and then, such as following our conscience, etc., and act like that, or conduct ourselves accordingly, then we will create, we will not create more karma. And it is that karma, because of law of causality, that, what I mean is that for every action, there is a consequence. Okay, for every action, there's a consequence. Okay, so if we do not or reduce our karma, then we will not have to reincarnate. That's what Buddha talked about. And that's why he said, the four noble truths, that the reason why life is suffering is because we do not understand, we do not follow our conscience, our Buddha nature. Rather, we tend to follow our human nature, which is based on what you can say ignorance. I'm saying ignorance. Hold on. I'll say desires. How we think. We have maybe biases, prejudices, whatever, or likes and dislikes, right? And we have what we like to see, or from our eyes, what we like to hear from our ears, etc., or what we don't like to, and by being in the midst of that and following what we like to see, like to hear, or what we don't like to see, what we don't like to hear, what we don't like to taste, touch, etc., then that creates more karma. You understand? And so therefore, that's what's suffering. Okay, that's because from a Buddhist perspective, I mean, there are things that we like, right, or we want to have, but we don't get it. So that is what creates suffering, right? Because you can't get it, right? But yet you desire it, right? So we become attached, or we become driven by that, all right? And we keep pursuing it, never letting go, okay? And so Buddha called that's ignorance, because we don't understand that that's the cause of our suffering, okay? So that's part of the Four Noble Truths. So the whole idea is to minimize all that, to ideally to really cut it all off. I mean, that's how we become enlightened. And what does enlightenment mean? It's not that you suddenly know everything. It includes that, but more importantly, it eliminates karma. Okay, I say eliminates karma. I say 100%. It does for practical purposes, i.e., we don't have to continue that cycle of birth and then death and then rebirth and then dying again. That endless cycle. Understand? That's the whole point. Now, it does not mean that once we become enlightened, like a Buddha, okay, you're just in some realm, someplace, and nothing to do with the human realm or that. No, it doesn't mean that. There's more to that. They will be involved. But you have a choice. You're no longer driven by the law of causality, i.e. karma. You know what I'm saying? Or by action. I mean, because who knows our, how can I say, our present condition in this life, where we're born, who we're born under, who we associate with, etc. How we how our journey of life is like is all it's, you can say, based on two main parts. One is based on our previous karma, what we've established in our previous lives, what we've done in our previous life, and presently what choices we make. So it's two parts. So it's not absolutely just because we're in this lot and that everything is preset and we have no power or no ability to alter that. That's not true. That's not what karma means. Karma means that there are primary conditions that was established, yes, in previous life, which kind of how can I say, causes or results in this present condition, but you still have a choice. You still have a choice. You still have a choice to say yes or no, to do or to follow or not to follow. Okay, and so it's the interaction of those two categories that what drives us, our life. Okay, our life. So it's a lot of theory. It's a lot. Okay, but don't think that when we say we enter the Tao, that everything, we should just accept everything as is, and that everything's inevitable the way things play out. That's not 100% true. You still have a choice, and how we act on, have those choices or act on choices is a lot based on that wisdom, that Buddha, from our Buddha nature, not from our just knowledge or previous experience. So it's an interaction of the two. Okay, so don't feel as though if I believe in karma, then everything is predestined at the way it is and it's fixed. That's not 100% true. All right, because then that would be gloomy, very gloomy. Okay, very it's not. It seems that that's too bad. Everything's fixed, right?
I think it's one of the reasons though that why because it would be gloomy. It's because that would mean we're not really in control, and therefore the psyche wants to. It does feel like it needs some control.
Right.
So I feel like there's a need for. I believe there's many different degrees of karma. Everything from, even for instance, like I need to breathe. There's a karmic sense in that. If I don't, there's death. But that's not even my choice. And there's that's very macro. And the micro levels, maybe it's like decisions of. Even move into Vietnam. Some of these aren't necessarily have good or bad connotations, but it's all part of a cosmic order or even a karmic order that has been evolving throughout my ancestors to get me to this point. But it doesn't mean I just accept whatever happens as in, nothing I can do. But I just feel like that it's more of we're not gods. I think we're just playing out a long stretch. With that said, though, I believe that trying to adhere to Buddhist principles or great tenets, along with even like a Christ consciousness of do what's best for the whole collective, so that we all can evolve better instead of trying to just do what's best for the self. Because in the end, we all die. We all perish if we all try to be narcissistic and don't support the community.
That's a good point, because Buddha did teach that if we are ultimately enlightened, there's no more ego, no more that ego view, or view of ego or attachment to the ego.
So I agree with what you guys are sharing with me. It's just I guess philosophically, I just wonder where doctrines.
Are you receiving down today?
Is that why I'm here? I don't know. See, that's part of it. Is even the act. I feel like whatever I'd be receiving would be something, a choice I've already made. And it's not necessarily, I'm not here because anyone's gonna magically do anything. I appreciate people's intentions, and I believe we're all here to hopefully help each other or be on our path. But ultimately, I don't know what anyone, I don't even know what I can do for anybody. If I do, it's just the universe will do good or bad out of it. So therefore, you know, I don't think any of these are like easy. This stuff isn't easy for me, but in a way it is.
The Buddha's guided you here today.
Yeah, you say that, you know, I mentioned karma because it's not that, how can I say, it's not that everything happens for a reason, maybe that's another way of saying it, okay? But it's not that, on the one hand, it's not that you have no control, and on the other hand, it's not like you have 100% control. It depends, I mean, because partially, it's a mix. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an interaction of the two, and that the very fact, in other words, you know, when Phoebe asks you to come, you know, for example, I'm just using a very simple analogy example here is that when Phoebe asks you to come, you still have a choice. It's not like say, oh, I'm forced to come, right? I mean, I'm forced. You know, yeah. Phoebe said I have to be here, so I'm gonna come. It's not that. You still had a choice ultimately, right? Okay, but the fact, the result, i.e. that now you're here, is because, okay, yes, you made a decision to say, I'll show up. But it also meant that, remember I said that that's a individual choice now, you have a free will. But the very fact that you met Vivi and was able to, hear her talk to you about the Tao or whatever, is a indication that you have affinity based on prior karma. Makes sense? And that's manifested today because it's right.
Did you receive Tao before?
Conditions are
I
right.
didn't receive Tao, but I came and then
So it's like
gave
a combination?
donation. The person was here and I filled in the
Okay.
No, so you did not receive Tao.
Basically just
Oh,
follow the
it's just
journey
being there?
that was
Right.
paid before, so you just follow it.
Now, the universe will go according its way. That's true because there's the physical side, which is that, universes have a beginning, and eventually they will evolve and have an end, right? So yeah, we can't
She's
change
coming,
that.
but she's running
That's-
very late. She's
That's
saying.
the law,
Okay.
causality. But
Emails.
we humans have also some choice. We can make a choice. Universe doesn't have a choice, but follows the laws of physics or whatever we call laws of causality physics. Okay, right? Okay. But we humans still have a choice because we have that Buddha nature. We have that you can say that master, right? That can guide us. Maybe that you can say, okay, guide us in our actions. Okay. It's not like we're puppets or robots. Because otherwise it'll be gloomy, right? Then
So
everything's
American
fixed.
subscriptions
That's
is
not right.
usually $10.
That's not right either.
If you have a $10.
Alright, so would like to go next. David.
Gene, Phoebe's not here, so who's going to be
Ask the transmitter.
who's going to be introducer?
Ask the transmitter. Ask the transmitter.
Yes, the computer.
Well, who's going to be the introducer?
We have the
No, she'll still be introduced.
She's running late. She will be here, but I just text her.
Just let the transmitter know that.
Jean, you want to introduce us?
No, my boy. You ask the transmitter.
Ask
She is coming,
She's coming out?
but she says she's running very late.
She's not going to make on time.
But call her. They just keep asking. Oh, you want to wait for next time? Wait.
Oh no, 快点找
You can't wait.
Wait later.
You can't wait.
She's a large part of the
Well,
process.
it doesn't have to be.
But she's not here. Somebody,
Female, then the sponsorship.
Well, Phoebe brought him in, so
Yeah, when Phil right, Miss Phoebe.
So just tell
And if that means I
transmitter.
have to wait.
When are you leaving for Saigon? Tomorrow?
I'll be back in June.
no,
So
but
Ken,
it's-
the time, we should strike the metal when it's still hot.
When you're still here,
So,
right?
i.e., when you're still here, you have this opportunity to receive the blessing, you should take
She'll
it.
be here.
Okay. So I'll go. So
I can be the guarantor. Anyone can get the guarantors.
Well,
Anyone is
that's,
yeah.
To introduce it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my story is every year when my martial art teacher comes, we sit down and we talk about things before they do it. Well, I don't do it anymore because now I understand about three hearts. But we used to talk about present and the future and so forth. So now, but no, I don't do that discussion anymore. So, but anyhow, that time you were speaking, it was closer to now coming down to the end of the year, and you wanted to know what are my plans, and my plans was just one thing. So I need to go to, somehow I have to go to, I would like to find a Buddhist temple to go. I didn't know well there was a difference between Dao and don't you and Buddhism. Yeah. So, however, he said, well, when you live in New York, well, you should just go on the internet and find one. So I didn't do all of that there, no. But anyhow, it was Friday night we had the discussion. From Saturday morning.
He's gonna receive.
Yeah.
I guess.
And
Yeah.
Phoebe,
Yeah.
he is. And Phoebe cannot get here in time. But I transmit to Jin, says that she still can be the introducer.
Yeah.
So we went to this. They usually have a
你做保师，
请问金讲师
你
做做保
做保师。
So who's the 隐师? It has to be
No,
male
this is,
then.
no, it's somebody else. Phoebe is the introducer for Ken.
Yeah, but so then that's a lady is going to substitute for Phoebe.
Somebody is. I don't know who.
And you're gonna be the guarantor?
I have no idea. It's not up to me, it's up to the transmitter.
So in any case, so we went to a computer show the Saturday morning early this time. There was no casino, there was just the racetrack.
Where's this, in New York?
Yeah, right here in Aqueduct racetrack. So the racetrack.
So there is a casino now.
Yeah, there's a casino now.
In
Where?
New York City. Yeah, see, people don't believe me.
Yeah.
By
Yes, there is.
People
by
don't
your,
believe me.
yeah.
So the
I
bars
passed
live
by there
from
going to
yeah,
my
like a block from where I live.
chiropractor.
Yeah, yeah.
Casinos are
In
bad.
Queens, right? In Queens.
Yeah.
Near the
Yeah,
airport.
right
It's
there.
near,
Yeah,
near
it's near
JFK.
Kennedy,
yeah.
That's what I thought.
It is.
So
But people don't believe me.
we went
But it's
there.
empty, the
Yeah.
parking lot is empty.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
We,
is.
we went there, and for some
It's not an
reason,
advertisement about that.
this lady, I didn't even reach in the building. This lady just left what she was doing. She was doing some massage and so forth. So she just left, and the lady just came up to me while I'm walking in to say, and start talking about the Dao.
That's Liu Jie.
I guess.
Her name is,
You know who Liu Jie is?
Amy.
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 Yeah.
Liu.
Amy who? The one
what's
in
her
Iowa?
name? No, different Amy.
The one who,
Liu.
Liu Xiaomei.
No,
No.
Liu something.
Which Amy?
she's
A
the one
long,
who
long time
orchestrated all
ago.
the
She
the-
got
Oh,
two
she no
kids.
longer is
Yeah,
here.
Yeah,
she
she
was,
no.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
She took a lot of people out
Yeah.
because they had conflict between the.
Oh, so she knows massage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Foot
So-
massage.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, she was doing body.
Oh, body.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
don't know.
So in
I
any
forgot her
case,
name.
we went and she started speaking, and so while she said, well, while you're doing that, let me give you a massage. So I say a massage. So I was wondering how she wanted to give me a massage in this public place like that to myself. But she
Where
said,
is the massage at?
so I'm thinking, but anyhow, she showed me, it's a chair that you just sit on the chair, lean
Right,
over
right,
and
right,
hug
right.
like
Yeah.
this.
They have lots at
Yeah, they
airports.
have it.
Was she
Yeah.
good? Was she good?
It was okay. Right.
They
So
have it
while
in
she
malls.
doing what
Yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah,
doing,
yeah.
and she talking about this Dao and so forth. So anyhow, so I said, well, I cannot come tomorrow because then we had a grade and a function in the school, karate school, so I could not go. So the following Sunday, I came to the temple, and you guys know it's been such time I'm still here. So, but the good thing about it is that the first Dharma class, I was the the
Class
what they call
leader?
the class leader
In the English
in
class.
the English class downstairs.
Oh,
It was a
downstairs.
Dharma class, yeah. And
Remember, we used to have Chinese class one
Yeah.
week, and the
And then the
second
next
week
class,
will be
yeah.
English class,
Yeah.
and he was the class.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's all
Yeah.
Caucasians.
So I'm there, and for some reason somebody called me. I look back and I didn't see anybody. That means the Buddha coming. The first Buddha was Guanyin, I think.
Somebody calling you?
Well, during,
Yeah.
during the Dharma class. During the
But
Dharma.
so I just looked back so and I didn't know where
They say Johnny?
I heard my name.
Was it a female voice or?
I don't know, but I just heard my name. So I looked back and I didn't realize, well, that's the Buddha coming. So then somebody, I don't know who, somebody told me was to say one. So I said one and everybody stood up. So I failed my first test because I should have listened and do what I had to do. So I don't know if it's the Buddha called me or it's one of the members behind who knew what was happening.
What year was
Long
It's been
time.
a while.
I don't know.
It's over 10 years ago.
Didn't your,
15.
what is his
Professor
name?
Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he talk to you about it also?
No, he was with me when we went to do the when Amy met. I met Amy. We were together.
You were
We
together?
were together. So then
So what happened was his boss
Yeah.
actually transmitter Low told his boss to call me.
Oh.
So he called me. I don't know him. I never met
Right.
Professor Jacob. We talked for an hour. I never saw him before. And I motivated him on the phone. Okay, so he was interested. So you were with him when I was talking to him?
A little bit. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So he actually came that Sunday after we met Amy, and I could not come because he did what he had to do that first day. Then I had to stay to do the rest of the stuff, so I could not come. And then he was leaving early the next morning or so. Anyhow, so that was it. But there is something special about the Tao, that, like Edna Snow was saying, you can't ask for things. You think about things and things will happen, right? And many things. The funny thing about it is one time, you would not understand this. One time there was something happened and in the school, and some people had a little disagreement with my teacher, and then a whole bunch, like half of the school just left. So month end came, and now I have a problem. So now half of the people not there, and I have to pay the rent for the building. So I just said, well, I start talking to Holy Teacher, and that day, so I went to the school. And before I reached, there was people standing outside, and I was early. People standing outside waiting, and I signed up enough people that day. I was able to pay the rent without any problems. So I know for sure that things don't just happen like that. There's something behind it. So when I think back on all those things, and there are lots of times. See, before the temple, see my teacher. I can't go to a competition unless he's there, because he's always afraid for me that because he figured that because he figured that I may just. I told him to keep quiet.
Oh, was that your fault? I thought it was his fault.
Yeah, he's afraid because our organization is a very, very big organization all over the place, and we like to say that I hit harder than everybody else, and he's always afraid that I hit somebody too hard and cause damage. So he like to be there to control.
You can sense his presence.
Yeah. So we don't speak, but we can talk to each other without
In your
words
mind.
No word. Yeah, we just, like, he will be thinking something and I will hear what he's saying.
Wow.
So,
Who, the Buddha?
no,
Holy
my Professor Jacob.
Oh, it's Professor Jacob.
Yeah.
You can read his mind.
Yeah. So we
You read minds?
So he's always afraid. So anytime I'm competing, he wants to be there to make sure that thing. So all those little things. So and I used to be always
I
good.
want to say something. Since he received the Dao,
He's always at the
he is always here. From Tongde to downstairs to upstairs. You get it?
Yes,
So
I have
something
Yeah,
must
there is
be
something
special
special.
for him to come.
We need to give him a
every
gold medal.
In the old days, the English class was not this organized. Okay, it was very chaotic. For example, transmitter Ray is always on the road, and then we have lecturer Kai here who worked out of state. He never gets back in time for the class, and I am someone that did not know anything. So I had to do the classes.
Ty wasn't here.
And Ty wasn't here yet. Ty was still in California. I
Was
never
still in
met
La La
Ty.
Land?
I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
met Ty then. And then I used to say, my God, Kai, why can't you get here in time? I am not professionally trained for
A
this.
lot of times,
Hell,
yeah.
I was
He's
so,
always,
every
yeah.
weekend, every Sunday, I will panic. Okay, I totally get all stressed out. Ask Johnny.
Yeah.
I said, Johnny, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. And it is, you see, but before but there's one time we had this Monday, the class, you know, the staff class after the Dharma class, and I was here and I parked and I didn't have, I ran out of quarters. I keep going back and forth all the time. So this last time I went back to feed the meter, I didn't have quarters and I walked around, can't get even 4 quarters. Everybody said, no, I don't have any. The stores don't want to give me any change.
Where, here?
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask me?
Huh? But you were.
What, they don't, they only accept quarter,
Yeah,
because
I
those
wasn't
meters,
here.
yeah, those
I
are the
don't
old
think you-
meters.
I don't remember if you were here.
Nowadays, you
But
just
Ty
use
knew because I
cards.
told him I have to go feed, every time I go out I said I have to go feed the meter and so forth. But anyhow, when I left and things, and soon as Holy Teacher came, he asked, where's Johnny? And
This was
Really?
downstairs?
Yeah,
This
up here,
is-
here. in
up
this
here?
You mean
temple.
holy teacher asked, where's Johnny?
Yeah. And,
Really?
and Ty,
Oh, yeah.
Ty,
He
yeah.
wanted him
Yeah.
to lead everybody into exercise
Oh.
so the teacher can talk with the transmitters behind the blackboard.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
so
oh,
Ty,
really?
Ty
That was a
called.
while ago, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Ty called me and said, well, I don't have no more quarters and I can't get any and I think, so I'm just gonna leave.
Go to a store.
I went
just
to
ask for-
stores.
So what
like
happened?
You
You
buy,
left?
you go to a newsstand and you buy
yeah.
a piece of candy or
Yeah, but
something.
then I'm still not gonna get enough.
You
change.
give them $5. You say, let me have a
Yeah,
dollar
yeah,
quarter.
I offered to buy stuff and they said no, they don't have quarter.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So,
Did you look mean that day?
I never look mean.
You should
just
show your
teasing
teeth. Like,
You big smile.
I never look mean. I never look mean. The only time I look mean is if you're threatening.
but you didn't show your teeth.
Threatening
See,
me and
those,
so forth.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess those.
Yeah.
So what happened? You didn't have quarter, but you didn't feed
So
the
you
meter?
took off.
I fed the
He
meter.
took off.
I took off. Because I mean, I
Meter
didn't want to
expired.
get a ticket.
Because it's only 1 hour
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then, right? You can
And I went out twice already to feed the meter, and I didn't
why
know.
did
I
you
think
park
it's
it in
you
the
told
parking?
me. It's in the parking lot. You the one
Oh.
who told me I could have done like for the day, and I didn't know that I could have done it for the whole day.
Yeah, if you had a parking lot, you could park for
Yeah.
10 hours.
I
For
didn't-
probably
I
like,
I told.
back then, it's
I-
probably like 60
I never
bucks.
told you.
I think it's after that happened. you
Oh,
told me.
after that I
Yeah,
told
yeah,
you.
yeah. So I didn't know that really. So
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
You got it? Did you get?
No, but
Didn't get a
Sunday,
ticket.
He
Oh,
left.
yeah,
He took
yeah.
the
Oh,
car.
back then.
Yeah.
even on
Wow.
Sunday, you still have to
Yeah,
pay the
that
meter.
time you had.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's fine.
You could ask for the temple, ask temple for it.
No.
He didn't feel
I didn't
right
feel right.
because he's very proper.
That's not.
You just change.
You should have asked Lecturer
Was I there?
He's Mr. Moneybag.
Oh, I don't know.
So,
Was I there?
what
I'm
happened
sure you
when
were.
holy teacher came and asked for
That's
you?
because.
Well, he just Kai called me, say, where are you, man? Holy teacher asking
Oh,
for you.
no.
And I say, well,
Did you come back?
I know, because I didn't want to get a ticket, and the person, the meter maid, was around, so I
You
I
missed your
really
opportunity.
missed my
Maybe he had a lot of wisdom words.
So and the next time, well, the next time holy teacher came, and I was so nervous, he put me up on the board to write that song. You remember that time?
Really?
Yeah,
What
he
song
put-
is that?
I don't know.
I
Then
don't
transmitter
remember.
then said, "Listen, you can't forget this song. This is your song. Holy teacher let you write
And
it."
you now you forgot.
I forgot the song. What song
Oh my!
is it? And they let me write in that song. And holy teacher.
We don't have a scripture of it? We should have.
Probably
Did you
do.
make a copy of it?
No. And then he said some things to me, and I
Oh,
don't,
that song lyric was
I
for
don't even
you.
remember what it said, but transmitter Lynn seems to always remember and keep telling me.
You should ask the
Remember,
transmitter
holy
lady.
teacher,
He remembers
holy
those
teacher
things.
say this is said this to you and so
She
forth.
remember
And
everything.
I can't remember it. But
Was it an American song?
yes, English
Do you
song.
remember which one?
No, I don't remember the song either. But
If
what
I were you, I would memorize the
I will
lyrics.
have to find out, and I have to ask transmitter Lynn what is
The song.
not the song, but what holy teacher words were to me. You know,
Did they translate
he
it?
was translating, so
into
he
English?
told me what
I'm sure they still have it.
advice is.
I-
Right? And in terms of, see, I should have had my temple already, but when I think I was very close to doing it, my land, two things he did, you don't see that, he built a greenhouse in the back.
Oh,
So now,
Who built the greenhouse?
my
his landlord.
So there's a greenhouse in the back, and most of the times it's so difficult to get in because we have all these things outside with all the plants and so forth. And then they have about 6 cats outside, and it's gonna be more just now because one of the cats are pregnant, and then they have some upstairs, and sometimes it's so.
That's the tenants or landlord?
landlord. And the
Cats.
This-
6 cats?
This is
Wow, he
the
must
holy
love cats.
teacher testing
He must
you.
love
Yeah.
cats.
And the cats then sometimes they're sleeping and the cats just start playing with something like a ball, like the ball run down, the cat go behind it, then run, I don't know, and it's so
What, inside the house?
in the house, yeah, and then sometimes
Yeah, but I thought you're upstairs.
No, he's downstairs.
Oh, he's on the first floor.
That's why he's looking for a place
No
to
wonder.
move.
I'm looking for an apartment to move.
So it's
because
very crowded now.
Last time the teacher was here, he said to everybody, look, he's gonna open his temple just now, so I don't want to miss that opportunity again, so I have to.
See, so
Yeah.
if you know of a nice
So-
place to rent, you
So-
ask Johnny.
So holy teacher,
You know?
so holy teacher might be my
No.
my guide, like